You know what they say about humans? They are unpredictable, chaotic, dangerous. Well, guess what? They forgot to mention one tiny little detail that's about to turn our entire understanding of biology upside down. The human male, Marcus Sullivan, just made interspecies reproduction possible with my science officer, Lieutenant Zara-Nine of the Kelthran Third Fleet. Yeah, you heard that right. A human and a Kelthran, creating life together. The first interstellar child in recorded galactic history. That I'm standing here in the medical bay of the starship Crimson Dawn, watching our chief medical officer, Dr. Timevar, pace back and forth like he's seen a ghost. His purple-scaled hands keep shaking as he reviews the bioscanner results for the 15th time in the last hour. "Commander," he says, his voice trembling with what I can only describe as scientific terror mixed with fascination, "the cellular structure it's impossible. The DNA sequences shouldn't be compatible. Humans have carbon-based genetics, while Kelthrans use silicon-carbon hybrid matrices. This should have resulted in immediate cellular rejection. Not this. This. He keeps calling it this because none of us have the words to describe what we are witnessing. The growing life form inside Zara-Nine exhibits characteristics from both species, but it's not some grotesque hybrid monstrosity like our xenobiology textbooks predicted. It's something entirely new. Something beautiful, if I'm being honest. Marcus stands beside Zara-Nine's medical bed, holding her blue-tinted hand in his rough, calloused human fingers. The contrast is striking. Her delicate, almost translucent skin against his weathered, battle-scarred flesh. He's a former Earth Defense Force soldier, discharged after the Proxima Centauri conflict. She's one of our most brilliant tactical analysts, graduated top of her class from the Kelthran Military Academy. They met 6 months ago during a joint operation against the Void Reapers. Pirates, scavengers, the worst kind of scum the galaxy has to offer. Marcus was part of a human mercenary unit we'd hired for additional firepower. Zara-Nine was leading our intelligence division. "How are you feeling?" Marcus asks her, his voice soft but carrying that underlying steel that all human soldiers seem to possess. "Like I'm carrying the future of 2 civilizations inside me," she replies, managing a weak smile. Her large, amber eyes reflect an emotion that transcends species barriers. Love. Pure, uncomplicated love. Dr. Timevar clears his throat, drawing our attention back to the medical readings. The fetal development is accelerated beyond anything we have seen in either species. Normal Kelthran gestation is 14 months. Human gestation is 9 months. This pregnancy appears to be following a 7-month timeline, and the biological complexity is... He pauses, searching for words that don't exist in any galactic language. Unprecedented. I suggest. Revolutionary. He corrects. "Commander, this child will possess enhanced cognitive abilities from the Kelthran genetic line, combined with the remarkable physical adaptability and resilience of human genetics. The musculoskeletal system shows increased bone density and muscle fiber efficiency. The neural pathways are developing at rates that suggest enhanced processing speed and memory retention capabilities." Marcus looks up from Zara-Nine's hand. "Doc, are you saying our kid is going to be some kind of super being?" "Our kid." He said, "our kid," with such casual pride that it makes my chest tighten with an emotion I didn't know Kelthrans could feel. Envy? No. Something warmer. Hope, maybe. I'm saying, Dr. Timevar responds carefully, that your child represents an evolutionary leap that shouldn't be possible according to every law of biological science we understand. Let me tell you something about falling in love with an alien. It's complicated as hell, but it's also the most natural thing that ever happened to me that I have been a soldier for 12 years. Fought in 3 different star systems, seen buddies die in ways that would give civilians nightmares for decades. I thought I was done with surprises. Then I met Zara-Nine during that clusterfuck of an operation against the Void Reapers, and suddenly everything I thought I knew about the universe got turned on its head. She was coordinating tactical strikes from the bridge of the Crimson Dawn, while I was leading a boarding party onto a Reaper dreadnought. Her voice came through my comm system, crisp and professional, guiding my team through maze-like corridors with precision that saved our lives more times than I can count. "Sullivan, Hostiles approaching your position from Corridor Junction 7 Alpha. 3 heat signatures, heavily armed. Copy that, Control. How do you want us to play this? Trust me, she said, and something in her voice made me do exactly that. The ambush we set up based on her intel was a thing of beauty. Clean, efficient, no casualties on our side. When we got back to the ship, I had to meet the tactical genius who'd kept us alive. That's when I saw her for the first time. About 5.5 feet tall, with skin that had this subtle blue tint that reminded me of ocean water under moonlight. Her eyes were these incredible amber orbs that seemed to see right through me. And when she smiled, man, when she smiled, it was like watching a star being born. You are the voice from the comm, I said, probably sounding like an idiot. And you are the human who actually listens to tactical advice, she replied, extending her hand in what I later learned was a traditional Keltheran greeting gesture. 6 months later, we are here in the medical bay, holding hands while doctors from 2 different species try to figure out how we manage to create life together. Marcus, Zara-Nine whispers, squeezing my fingers, are you scared? Terrified, I admit, but not about the baby. I'm scared about what comes next. The politics, the bureaucracy, the idiots on both sides who are going to want to turn our child into some kind of symbol or weapon or scientific experiment. She nods, understanding immediately. That's one of the things I love about her. She gets the big picture without me having to spell it out. The Galactic Council is already requesting detailed reports, she says quietly. My government wants to classify this as a matter of interspecies security. Your Earth Coalition is demanding DNA samples and full medical records. Yeah, well, they can all go to hell. I say, probably louder than I should have in a medical facility. This is our kid, not some political football. Commander Kethvar approaches our bed, his expression unreadable behind those reptilian features. I'm afraid it's not that simple, Marcus. The implications of this birth extend far beyond personal choice. The genetic compatibility between humans and Keltherans suggests possibilities that could reshape interstellar relations. With respect, Commander, I reply, using my best talking to superior officer's voice, I don't give a damn about interstellar relations. I care about keeping my family safe. And that, he says with what might be approval, is exactly why this child will be extraordinary. I have been hiding in the cargo bay of this ship for 3 weeks now, surviving on stolen rations and trying to avoid detection. The Void Reapers held me captive for 2 years before I managed to escape during that raid 6 months ago. I have seen the worst the galaxy has to offer, so when I tell you that what's happening in the medical bay is miraculous, you'd better believe me. The human soldier, Marcus, he doesn't know I exist. None of them do. I'm good at being invisible. You learn that skill quickly when you're a property of the most vicious pirates in known space. But I have been watching, listening, learning about these people who accidentally gave me my freedom. The pregnant female, Zara-Nine, she's different from other Keltherans I have encountered. Most of them are cold, calculating, focused entirely on logic and efficiency. She has warmth, compassion. Maybe it's the human influence, or maybe she was always special. Either way, she represents something new in this galaxy. I have overheard enough conversations to understand the magnitude of what's happening. The first interstellar child, the biological impossibility that's becoming reality, the political nightmare that's about to unfold. The Void Reapers, they're still out there, still hunting, still destroying, still taking prisoners to work in their mining operations until they die from exhaustion or despair. But this child, this impossible blend of human and Keltheran genetics, represents hope. Real hope for the first time in decades. From my hiding spot near the ventilation shaft, I can see into the medical bay. The human father-to-be has this look in his eyes that I recognize. It's the same expression my own father had when he held me for the first time, according to my mother's stories. Protective love mixed with absolute determination. The Keltheran mother has something different in her amber eyes. Ancient wisdom combined with fierce maternal instinct. She's calculating threats and defenses simultaneously, planning for scenarios that haven't occurred yet. This child will be hunted. Every faction in the galaxy will want to control, study, or eliminate what it represents. The Void Reapers will see it as a threat to their power structure. The Galactic Council will want to regulate its existence. Military forces from a dozen species will want to weaponize its unique genetics. But these parents, they won't let that happen. I can see it in the way they look at each other, the way they communicate without words. They're already planning to protect their child from a galaxy that isn't ready for what it represents. Politics make me sick. Always have, always will. That's why I run independent freight operations in the Outer Rim territories, staying as far away from government bullshit as possible. But when my old war buddy Marcus Sullivan sent me an encrypted message asking for a favor, I couldn't say no. Rex, I need extraction capabilities for a medical emergency. Off the books, no questions asked, payment in advance. Marcus doesn't ask for favors lightly. The guy once carried me 2 miles through hostile territory with a dislocated shoulder and 3 broken ribs. If he needs help, he gets help. No questions asked. Now I'm docked at the same station as the Crimson Dawn, running what appears to be routine cargo inspections while actually preparing for the most important smuggling operation of my career. Because that's what this is going to come down to. Smuggling a pregnant alien and her human partner away from government interference before some bureaucrat decides their unborn child belongs to the state. That MY ship, the Iron Phoenix, isn't much to look at. 15 years old, retrofitted engines, armor plating that's been welded and re-welded more times than I can count. But she's fast, she's reliable, and most importantly, she's invisible to most scanning systems thanks to some highly illegal modifications I picked up from a Centauri tech smuggler. The plan is simple. When the time comes, Marcus and Zara-Nine will transfer to my ship under the pretense of a medical evacuation. We will jump to hyperspace before anyone realizes they are gone, then disappear into the independent colonies where government authority means exactly nothing. The complicated part is timing. Too early, and the baby might not survive the journey. Too late, and we will have every military ship in 3 sectors hunting us down. I'm sitting in the station cantina, nursing a glass of Alterian whiskey and pretending to read shipping manifests when Commander Kethvar walks in. He's alone, which is unusual for a Kelthran officer of his rank. They typically travel with at least 2 security personnel for protocol purposes. He approaches my table without invitation and sits down across from me. Captain Tanaka, I believe we need to discuss mutual interests. I don't know what you're talking about, I reply, keeping my voice neutral. The health and safety of Lieutenant Zara-Nine and Specialist Sullivan, he says quietly, along with their unborn child. I set down my glass and meet his reptilian gaze directly. You wearing a wire, Commander? No recording devices. No surveillance. This conversation is off the record. Then what do you want? I want to help them escape, he says, and his words hit me like a plasma bolt to the chest. Why would a Galactic Survey Fleet commander want to help 2 of his own people defect? Because, he says, his voice carrying emotions didn't know Kelthrans could feel. Some things are more important than following orders. That child represents the future of interspecies cooperation. The governments will turn it into a political weapon or a laboratory specimen. It deserves better. I study his face, looking for deception, manipulation, hidden agendas. All I see is genuine concern and determination. What kind of help are we talking about? I ask. Intelligence, timing, safe passage coordinates, and when the time comes, official delay of pursuit orders. That's treason. Yes, he agrees without hesitation. It is. The news reaches me through our intelligence network embedded within the Galactic Survey Fleet. A human and a Kelthran have successfully reproduced. The biological impossibility has become reality, and it represents the single greatest threat to Void Reaper supremacy in galactic history. That I'm standing on the bridge of the dreadnought Dark Vengeance, staring out at the swirling nebula that hides our main fleet from detection. 47 ships under my command, each one bristling with weapons and filled with the most ruthless pirates and mercenaries in known space. For 60 years, the Void Reapers have maintained power through fear, superior firepower, and the fundamental truth that the various species of the galaxy are too different, too suspicious of each other, to form effective alliances against us. We exploit their differences, turn them against each other, and profit from the chaos. This child changes everything that if humans and Keltherans can reproduce, it proves genetic compatibility between species previously thought to be impossible. It suggests that other interspecies combinations might be possible. It opens the door to true galactic unity, shared genetics, common ground that transcends racial boundaries, that cannot be allowed to happen. Admiral, my intelligence officer, a scarred human named Victor Reese, approaches with additional data. Our sources confirm the pregnancy is progressing normally. Estimated birth in approximately 2 months. Both parents are currently aboard the survey ship Crimson Dawn, docked at Frontier Station 7. Defenses? I ask. Standard station complement. 2 patrol ships, minimal ground-based weapon systems. The survey ship has limited armament, mostly scientific equipment. Perfect. I turn to face my bridge crew, a mixture of humans, Keltherans, and a dozen other species united only by their willingness to profit from violence. Prepare the fleet for assault operations. Target: Frontier Station 7. Sir, my tactical officer, a Keltheran named Vexketh who abandoned his military oath for the promise of wealth. Destroying the station will likely result in civilian casualties numbering in the thousands. Acceptable losses, I reply. The child and its parents are the primary objectives. Everything else is expendable. Victor steps closer, lowering his voice. Admiral, if we capture them alive, the child could be useful. Imagine the leverage we'd have with a living symbol of interspecies unity under our control. I consider this option. The child could indeed be valuable as a hostage, a bargaining chip, a way to control both human and Keltheran governments simultaneously. But it also represents a risk. Children grow up. They develop their own ideas, their own loyalties, their own capacity for inspiring others. No, decide. Too dangerous. The child dies with its parents. Send a message to the entire galaxy that interspecies cooperation leads to extinction. Yes, sir, Victor acknowledges, though I detect reluctance in his voice. The irony isn't lost on me. I'm commanding a fleet of multiple species working together to prevent other species from working together. But cooperation born from greed and violence is different from cooperation born from love and hope. Ours can be controlled, managed, directed toward profitable objectives. Theirs threatens the very foundation of our power structure. How long until we reach the station? I ask my navigation officer. 16 hours at maximum hyperspace velocity, Admiral. Good. Prepare boarding parties. No survivors. As my crew begins preparations for what will be remembered as either our greatest victory or the beginning of our downfall, I find myself thinking about the human soldier and his Keltheran mate. They have no idea that their love story is about to become a galactic tragedy. Unless, of course, someone warns them first 15 hours until the Void Reapers arrive, and I'm about to commit the greatest act of insubordination in Keltheran military history. The encrypted message from Admiral Krextor's own intelligence officer arrived 20 minutes ago. Victor Reese, apparently, has developed a conscience at the worst possible time. Commander, Dr. Timevar bursts into my quarters without announcing himself, which tells me everything I need to know about his emotional state. The pregnancy has accelerated again. Zara-Nine is going into labor. Now, perfect. Just absolutely perfect. The universe has a twisted sense of humor. I follow him to the medical bay, where chaos has replaced the careful monitoring of hours before. Zara-Nine is gripping Marcus's hands so tightly that his human knuckles have turned white, while our medical team scrambles to prepare for a birth that no one in galactic history has ever witnessed. How long? I ask Dr. Timar. Maybe 6 hours. Maybe 2. The contractions are following patterns we have never seen before. Human labor typically progresses in predictable stages, but Keltheran births involve neural link synchronization between mother and child. This is both and neither. Marcus looks up from Zara-Nine's bedside, his face a mask of barely controlled panic. Commander, we need to get her out of here. Now, before those bastards arrive. The transfer could kill both mother and child. Dr. Timevar protests. Moving her during active labor. especially in an untested interspecies pregnancy. Staying here will definitely kill all three of them, I interrupt, plus everyone else on this station. Zara-Nine gasps through another contraction, her amber eyes flashing with pain and determination. Kethvar, she manages between breaths. Protect what we have created. Don't let them turn our child into a symbol of hatred. The weight of her words settles over me like armor I never asked to wear. This isn't just about following orders anymore. This isn't about military protocol or species loyalty. This is about preserving something pure in a galaxy that specializes in corrupting everything beautiful. Doctor, prepare a portable medical unit. Full life support capabilities, emergency surgical equipment. I activate my comm system. All department heads to the bridge immediately. We are evacuating the station. Sir, my communications officer's voice crackles through the speaker. We are receiving priority transmissions from Galactic Command. They are ordering us to maintain position and await the arrival of a special research team. Of course they are. The bureaucrats smell opportunity, and they want their piece of the miracle. Over my dead body, tell Galactic Command that we have encountered unexpected complications requiring immediate medical evacuation. We will file full reports after ensuring the safety of our personnel. It's not exactly a lie. The complications are just more explosive and numerous than they are expecting. Labor pains mixed with the stress of an impending pirate attack. Yeah, this is definitely not how I imagined becoming a father. Zara-Nine squeezes my hand through another contraction, and I swear I can feel her strength flowing through our joined fingers. She's incredible, facing the unknown with courage that puts most soldiers to shame. Every breath she takes is an act of defiance against the universe trying to tear our family apart. Marcus, she whispers during a brief respite between contractions, promise me something. Anything. If something happens to me, if I don't make it, don't. I cut her off before she can finish that thought. Don't you dare give up on me now. We have come too far to quit. Listen, she insists, her grip tightening. Our child will need to know that love created them. Not politics or science or accident. Love, pure and simple. You are going to tell them yourself. I say firmly. Every day for the next 100 years. Another contraction hits, stronger than before, and she arches against the medical bed with a sound that's part pain, part determination, part something I can't identify but recognize as fundamentally maternal. Dr. Timevar checks his instruments again, his purple face showing concern that he's trying to hide. The baby's position is shifting. Neural patterns are spiking beyond normal parameters for either species. What does that mean? I demand. It means your child is developing faster and more completely than we anticipated. The brain activity suggests full consciousness, awareness of the environment, possibly even emotional responses to external stimuli. You are saying the baby knows what's happening. I'm saying your child is already fighting to survive. Captain Rex Tanaka's voice comes through the comm system, cutting through the medical tension like a plasma blade. Marcus, we need to move now. My sensors are picking up hyperspace distortions. The Void Reapers are arriving early. How early? Commander Kethvar's voice joins the conversation. 12 hours ahead of schedule. They will be in weapons range in 40 minutes. Zara-Nine grabs my arm with surprising strength. Marcus, get me to that ship. Our baby isn't waiting for pirates to decide our fate. 38 minutes until the Void Reapers arrive, and I'm watching the most beautiful chaos I have ever witnessed. The medical team is transferring Zara-Nine to a portable life support unit while she's in active labor. Commander Kethvar is coordinating an evacuation that technically qualifies as mutiny, and Marcus Sullivan is holding his partner's hand like it's the only thing keeping him sane. From my hiding spot in the cargo bay, I can see through the service corridors as they move toward the docking bay where Captain Tanaka's ship waits. The portable medical unit hums with technology one have never seen before, monitoring vital signs for 2 different species simultaneously that I should stay hidden. I should let them escape without complicating their flight with an unauthorized passenger. But I have been running from a Void Reapers for months, and this might be my only chance to get far enough away that they will never find me. More importantly, I have witnessed the beginning of something extraordinary. The first interstellar child deserves to have someone who remembers how it all started, someone who can tell the story when the history books get written. I slip out of my hiding spot and follow the medical procession at a distance, keeping to the shadows and maintenance passages. The Iron Phoenix is a beautiful ship despite her battle scars. Sleek lines interrupted by armor plating and weapon modifications that speak of serious business. Thumbset. I freeze. Commander Kethvar is standing behind me, somehow having spotted me despite my best efforts at stealth. I know you have been hiding on my ship, he continues, his voice surprisingly gentle. The question is whether you are friend or enemy. Friend, I say quickly. The Void Reapers held me prisoner for 2 years. These people gave me my freedom, even if they don't know it. He studies me for a moment, those reptilian eyes calculating odds and possibilities. Can you handle a weapon? Yes, sir. Good. We're going to need all the help we can get. He hands me a military-grade plasma rifle, the kind of weapon I have only seen in the hands of elite soldiers. The weight feels solid, reassuring, deadly. Protect them, he says simply. Protect what they have created. 22 minutes until the bad guys show up with enough firepower to turn this station into scrap metal. And I'm helping transfer a woman in labor onto my ship while her partner holds her hand and whispers encouragement in 2 different languages. The portable medical unit barely fits through the Iron Phoenix's cargo hatch, but my modified loading system manages the transfer without jarring the patient too badly. Dr. Timevar follows with an armload of emergency medical supplies, muttering to himself in what I assume is either medical terminology or religious prayers. Rex, Marcus says, his voice tight with stress. How much time do we have? Enough to get clear of the station, not enough to get far before they start shooting, I reply honestly. The Phoenix is fast, but she's not invisible. Commander Kethvar boards my ship with 3 of his security personnel and that refugee kid I have been pretending not to notice. The Keltheran commander moves with purpose that tells me he's committed to this course of action. Mutiny charges and court-martial be damned. Captain Tanaka, he says formally, I'm placing myself and my crew under your command for the duration of this operation. Understood, Commander. Welcome aboard. Another contraction hits Zara-Nine, and her cry of pain echoes through the cargo bay. Dr. Timevar immediately checks his instruments, his face showing alarm. The baby's coming now, he announces. Full dilation, crowning beginning. There's no time to reach a proper medical facility. Then we deliver the baby here, Marcus says with typical human stubbornness. On a smuggler's ship in the middle of a war zone. Our kid's going to have one hell of a birth story. I'm sealing the cargo hatch when my proximity alarms start screaming. Through the cockpit windows, I can see the first Void Reaper ships dropping out of hyperspace, their dark hulls bristling with weapons that could vaporize my ship in seconds. All aboard who's coming aboard. I announce over the ship's comm system. We are leaving. Now, the Iron Phoenix pulls away from the docking clamps, just as the first plasma bolts light up the station's shields. The Void Reapers aren't wasting time with surrender demands or negotiations. They're here to kill everyone and everything. Hyperspace jump in 60 seconds. I call back to the cargo bay where the most important delivery in galactic history is about to take place. The baby won't wait 60 seconds. Dr. Timevar shouts back that of course it won't, because that would be too easy. My fleet drops out of hyperspace in perfect attack formation, 47 ships arranged to maximize destruction and minimize escape possibilities. Frontier Station 7 floats before us like a target in a shooting gallery, its pathetic defenses already powering up in futile preparation. Admiral Victor Reese reports from the sensor station. The survey ship Crimson Dawn is still docked at the station, but we are detecting another vessel departing the docking bay. Configuration matches independent freight hauler, heavily modified. Interesting. Someone is running. The question is whether they're running with my targets or running for my targets. Pursue course. I order. Disable, don't destroy. I want to know what they are carrying. Sir, my tactical officer reports. The freight hauler is transmitting standard merchant codes, claiming medical emergency evacuation. Of course they are. I settle back in my command chair, watching the tactical display as my ships move to intercept. Launch fighters. Box them in. The freight hauler, designated Iron Phoenix according to our database, is faster than it has any right to be. Whoever modified those engines knew what they were doing. But speed alone won't save them from an entire fleet. Admiral, Victor says quietly, moving closer to my position, our intelligence suggests the targets may be aboard that fleeing vessel. Then we will capture them alive and finish this business properly. But even as I give the order, something feels wrong. The timing is too convenient, the escape too obvious. Either these people are incredibly lucky or incredibly clever. Y communication system activates with an incoming transmission from the fleeing ship. The face that appears on my screen is human, weathered, with the kind of eyes that have seen too much combat. This is Captain Rex Tanaka of the Iron Phoenix, the human says calmly. I'm carrying medical refugees under neutral rescue protocols. Stand down your weapons. This is Admiral Crextor of the Void Reaper fleet. I reply. Prepare to be boarded for inspection. Can't do that, Admiral. Got a woman in labor here, and she's not waiting for your paperwork. A woman in labor. The timing can't be coincidental. All ships converge on the Phoenix. I order. I want that vessel intact. Dr. Timevar, the readings are off every scale, I understand. Neural activity spiking, genetic markers stabilizing in patterns that shouldn't exist, cellular development accelerating beyond theoretical limits. This child is rewriting biology as it's being born. Marcus, Zara-Nine's hand in mine, her strength flowing through our connection, her eyes fixed on mine with absolute trust. Push, I whisper, push for our future. Zara-Nine. Pain and joy mixing into something transcendent. The life inside me demanding entry into a galaxy that isn't ready for what it represents. Every contraction brings us closer to revolution. Commander Kethvar, through the cargo bay speakers, I can hear plasma fire as Captain Tanaka evades the Void Reaper fighters. The ship shudders under evasive maneuvers while the most important birth in history takes place in the hold. Captain Rex Tanaka, hang on back there, I shout over the engine noise. We're going to hyperspace in 30 seconds, ready or not. Tam set. I'm holding a plasma rifle, guarding the cargo bay entrance, watching for boarders who will never come because this ship is about to disappear into hyperspace. But I'm here, witnessing, remembering. Admiral Crextor, sir, they are charging hyperspace engines. Victor reports with something like relief in his voice. Dr. Timevar, the head is crowning. One more push, Lieutenant. Marcus, come on, baby. Come meet your crazy family. Zara-Nine, a final surge of effort, of love, of determination to bring new life into the universe despite everything trying to stop us. Captain Rex Tanaka, hyperspace in 3. Dr. Timevar, it's here. The baby is here. All. The Iron Phoenix disappears into hyperspace just as the universe's first interstellar child takes its first breath, its cry echoing through dimensions both known and unknown. From the Journal of Commander Kethvar, now captain of the independent vessel New Dawn. Her name is Hope Sullivan-Nine, and she is everything we dreamed she could be. 5 years old, brilliant beyond measure, capable of communicating in 12 different languages, including 3 that she apparently invented herself. She has her mother's amber eyes and her father's stubborn determination. Her skin shifts between blue and pink, depending on her mood, and her laughter sounds like music from species we haven't discovered yet. The Void Reapers are still hunting us, but their power diminishes every year as more species discover that cooperation is stronger than fear. The Galactic Council officially condemns our actions while secretly funding our research. Marcus and Zara-Nine married in a ceremony that combined human and Kelthran traditions, creating new customs that are spreading throughout the outer colonies. Hope doesn't know she's the most wanted child in the galaxy. To her, she's just a little girl who loves her parents, enjoys learning new things, and dreams of exploring the stars. But sometimes, when she looks at the stars through the observation deck, I see something in her eyes that suggests she understands exactly what she represents. The future, the possibility, the proof that love really can conquer the distance between worlds. The first interstellar child has become the first interstellar hope, and the galaxy will never be the same.